is from the playlist. It says Gavin O'Connor says that Warner Bros. Regime change killed his Suicide Squad movie. They wanted a comedy. This is what they told him. So he was at the end of writing his script, and they said, "No, we want this to be more of a comedy."
Yeah.
So let's go into this real quick. This is garbage, right? This is garbage, but it's fucking shitty what they did.
It's Dr. Fate. It's not a wax pen. It's just my nicotine. Like it's just regular liquid.
It's regular liquid.
Yeah, it's not anything.
It's a regular vape pen.
Yeah.
It's so. Oh my god.
Dude, I read this and I was just beside myself. I was like, You've got to be kidding me.
And here it is right here. He goes, but when O'Connor was in the final stages of the script writing process, there was a regime change at DC Films. And suddenly the studio was asking him for a distinctly different take on take than the one that he was writing. He goes, well, what happened was during the later part of the writing of the script, there was a regime change. It's just like redundant at DC. And when that happened, they wanted it to be a comedy, he recalled. And I'm like, I'm not writing a comedy. I mean, it was fun, but it's not a yuck fest.
Let's wait till the end to decide to do that.
Yeah. And the new regime wanted a different movie that I was writing. Ask if he's seen the new Suicide Squad by James Gunn. He said that, or has seen any other comic book characters in mind. The answer was a firm no. I have no interest in seeing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So no, he doesn't give a shit. He's like, I'm just doing my own thing.
You're talking to the dude who directed Warrior, and
the accountant.
Yo. And yes, and you're like, yo, make a funny fucking no. You know what I mean? No.
Well, but look at this part up here. Okay.
With the
I can imagine the look on Gavin O'Connor's face being told by Walter Amada, "You got to make a comedy."
He's probably like, okay, no. Yeah, dude. Not surprised. I read that and I was like, yep. Par for the course. Yo, it's ridiculous when the things that come out on a daily basis or weekly basis from people's experiences with this company, and it's like shit that if it was the first time, people like, oh wow. But it's ridiculous when you just read it and you're just like, shake my head in disgust. That's that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's par for the course, and you move on. That's ridiculous when it gets to that point. So yeah, no, that's
they're still operating like it's the 1950s Hollywood or something.
Exactly, and he even says in here that they asked him to write something darker, and so that's what he was doing.
Also, it feels like he just called James Gunn the Suicide Squad a yuck fest.
That's what it is. And RJ, I know you like Suicide Squad, and I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
It's just not a great movie.
It's a bad Suicide
It's not a great
Squad
movie.
man.
It just doesn't go anywhere for me, at least.
Fundamentally misunderstands everything about the Suicide Squad. It completely fundamentally misunderstands everything about the Suicide Squad.
It really does. Exactly.
Like it. I really don't know what other way to put it. It's my least favorite DC film out of all of them. And, you know, when James Gunn decided it was a great idea to not only kill Captain Boomerang and Rick Flag, I was like, okay, peace.
Yeah,
thanks.
peace out.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Dude.
Yeah.
They're like, can we get a CGI heart?
He gave a freaking,
I agree. I mean, other than Justice League, it's my least favorite too. Honestly,
I don't include Justice League on.
I don't either.
That movie doesn't exist.
I would rather watch Studio Squad.
That
before I
movie
watch
doesn't
the Suicide
exist,
Squad again.
just like Alien Resurrection doesn't exist, and some of the other sequels to the movies that like Terminator 3 and Salvation, they don't exist. They don't
The
exist.
Nicotina Show doesn't exist. I mean,
There you go. It only exists in your mind, rent free.
Yeah.
It's like it's a nightmare.
And so the other thing that I was hearing as well about this Gavin O'Connor script was that the Suicide Squad was supposed to be sent out to retrieve a something powerful, a powerful weapon, which I was hearing is that they were set out to that you would find out that they were the ones who found Black Adam. And they were the ones who eventually
about this.
They were the ones who were going to end up freeing him or be there when he gets released, which would lead to the Black Adam movie.
That'd be cool.
So there was a lot more connective tissue to all these movies instead of the whole trade of we're just going to make individual movies that is not really. They're softly connected. Like
It's the multiverse.
It's the
right?
multiverse. Only when
Get
we
out
want
of-
it to.
When they want it to us. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, here's a question from Batan. He says, "You guys prefer Wonder Woman 84 or the Suicide Squad?"
Wonder Woman 84.
Yes.
Wonder Woman 84.
Wonder Woman 84 would definitely
Still better than Suicide
Yeah,
Squad. for
Wonder
sure.
Woman 84.
Yeah.
Definitely.
At least it tries to be semi-serious. You know,
It tries to
Look,
be.
I don't mean any shit towards James Gunn. It's just like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I like the Suicide Squad. What you did with it, I was just not a fan of.
Yeah.
The only thing with Wonder Woman,
If you liked it,
the beginning starts off like a Mentos commercial. Like when she's in the mall and she's here stop and smile.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Look,
why we put that
the plot of that movie.
the Greatest American Hero music to it, because that's what it felt like.
The plot of
Yeah.
that movie is an absolute mess. I will not deny that. 110%.
It starts off like a bad 80s TV show.
Sure.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, you're just like, where are we going with this?
No, it starts off like with awesome Themyscira, and then it turns into a bad TV.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying,
There you
like
go.
when she kicks the car.
oh, that is the
and
worst.
when the bride
Yep.
is swinging and there's and the stupid girl like knocks her off the bridge, steals her
mental-
sunglasses or some shit, and they get away with it. And it's
rolls
fine.
around with mannequins on the ground.
The guy's fumbling through the mall. It's like
Yeah.
their only point to me for having it 84 was just for the tone. That was like the only purpose it served. It didn't serve.
If
there was
they
no
never said it was
reason for
84,
it to be-
you never know.
There's no reason for it to be set in the 80s.
There was no 80s music.
But the problem was they
The-
made it like, instead of making it like it was the year 1984, they made it like it was a movie that got made in 1984.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Like,
tone is supposed to
why?
serve
Like-
the story, not the other way around.
Yeah.
But what's funny about that clip that Dawson made is that it feels like that's literally how it was, like the clip from the movie, like with music and everything. Let's do it one more time.
I can
I
still
mean,
have fun with it.
Then it goes to her smiling and it shows her name, Gail DeVolt, as well.
The
Yeah,
only good
that'd
thing
be
about the
funny.
mall
The one
scene
with
was her
the one with
swinging
her
around
rolling with the mannequins.
the
too,
lasso.
was great.
Yeah.
Like you remember the A-Team, like the way that started, and like it was always like action shots, like you saw.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Like honestly, if I had to choose between Wonder Woman 84 and the Suicide Squad, oh god, I actually would probably pick Suicide Squad just because it has more action. That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Wonder Woman
I'm
84 it slows
surprised
down.
Resident
And,
Justice is like RJ is saying he doesn't like a movie. I'm surprised. I was like,
no, yeah, well,
He's
I
always
mean,
like,
look, do you
sees the
really
good in
blame
everything,
84? Wonder Woman 84 is
No, but he loves
He's
Suicide
the
Squad.
good.
It
It's a
has
rough
it has issues. It does. It
It's
has
also
problems.
got Wonder
but there
Woman
was
in it.
good. But there was good things about it.
There's good things
Yeah.
about it. Like
Yeah.
all the acting was
Character.
great.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just the story was stupid.
Yeah, that was the main problem, and the
Wonder
fact that it was
Woman
set
And the
review.
punchlines were all stupid too. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, stupid. I'm
Yeah.
not mad. I'm just
Also-
disappointed.
It's like when they first announced that movie, and I was like, oh, in 1984.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
Me too.
see some stuff, and then you see some stuff, and you're like, okay, the last time we saw her, she said, I walked away from man for a century.
Exactly.
And then I was
Exactly.
like, this is a slap in the fucking face to Zach
Yeah.
because now, but no, she really didn't walk away from man. And then
That's because this guy was involved. He was like, "Oh yeah,
I
we're
think that,
gonna
Hey.
lose the sword. Get rid of the sword. No
She wouldn't do
shield.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just straight lasso."
yeah.
They're like, "Oh no, not that, not that, not that. No, 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 no."
yeah,
Woo!
it's like
Yeah.
they're purposely trying to steer like they want to go back to like the Joel Schumacher universe or something like in a modern way.
Okay,
It's like-
so
it's like
funny you
John's-
mentioned that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's like John's approach to this film and look was like, I want to write my own Linda Carter Wonder Woman, but instead it's gonna be Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he totally
Pretty
just
much.
went with it and like
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what it makes me think? It makes me think that when he writes comics, like going back and reading his comics now after all this shit, it almost makes me think that like he envisions them a different way than the artist ends
Look,
up drawing them because
the
the
only-
artist does a lot for his writing. You know what
Right.
I mean?
the only thing I will give that man credit for, truth be told, is putting his foot down about Black Manta being an Aquaman. That's it. Other than
Who?
that,
Who's this?
Jeff Johns.
Oh, yeah, he wanted.
I would've been
He
fine
wanted
if
Black
Black Manta
Manta like
wasn't-
hardcore to be in the
Yeah.
movie, and I was
I would have been fine if he wasn't.
But I like
thought
that
it
he was in
rushed.
it though. I like that he
Oh,
was.
I
in
like
movie.
I love the costume.
Yeah, no,
I love the.
He looked great. He looked.
I would have
great.
rather him been part 1 and Orm been part 2. Like,
I would have
I mean,
rather.
I understand
Orm
getting
been like-
both.
Yeah, but you got Orm as Forrest Gump in part 2 because he's running.
Oh, yeah, with the long hair.
Yeah, no.
He looked like he ran quite fast.